4 incredibly useful ways I use Apple Notes on my iMac. Let's take a look. All right, so these are going to be 4 incredibly useful things I do with Notes on my iMac. And let me just start by saying, you may know a couple of these, you may not. I just like to try to teach people like some things that they may not know. When I watch videos, I usually know like 50% of the stuff, and then there's 1 or 2 things I'm like, hey, that's kind of cool. That's what I'm trying to do here. So if you use Notes, I mean, I actually use Notes in a different way. I don't use Notes really where I'm like at work or taking notes for a test or something. I use them where I think of something very quickly. Number 1, and I want to jot something down. Number 2, I want to basically save something from the web or save something, you know, even a document. Number 3, and then maybe secure things as well. So I'm going to show you how I use it. And again, how I use it's probably different from everyone else. Now this should work on iOS, it should work on macOS, but I'm going to show you on my iMac just because that's what I use primarily. I am getting a MacBook Pro, like I said, in a couple days and things like that, so I'll maybe try some stuff on there. Long story short is, this is kind of what I want to do. I'm going to keep it short, simple, just get into the content right away to keep people happy. I've gotten some comments on going too long in the beginning, but hey, I like to keep it a little bit personal, like, you know, on a personal level, just because, you know, that's what people watch sometimes. Anyways, I'm going to get into the content. Let me know what you think at the bottom or the back of the content when I'm done. Post some comments. Okay, with the first one, I think a lot of people are going to know this one. Go down here, open up Notes. Here's Apple Notes. You don't actually even need this open. I'm just going to open it for just to show everyone here, but I got 0 notes right here. So the only thing is, let's say I'm on a website or something and I want just to record something. I just thought of something. If you have a Siri icon down here, you just click on it and then you can say something, and I'll show you how to do it, but you can just say to the effect, you know, note that this is this, note that this is this, and it'll actually create a note about that. Let's go ahead and try it. So let's say I thought about something, go down to Siri, I click it. Hey Siri, note that that house number is 19.
Noted.
So there you go, and I'll look up here right away. You can see that it created 1 note up here, and that note basically says the house number is 19, and that's the note that it just created for me. So I didn't type that in, I just basically said it again. Let's try it one last time. Hey Siri, note that the other house number is 218.
Got it.
All right, so it created another note here, you can see it. I'm going to click on it, and now it has another note there, and it says that it's 218. So obviously that's very straightforward, easy, but it's a great way to take notes on Siri. All right, so the next one I want to show you is, let's say someone sends you a document, you need to sign it, or maybe you have some mailing thing you want to just scan into your notes really quickly. Well, if you have an iPad, which I do, it's really easy. I mean, your iPad, if you look up here, is basically connected up here in the upper right-hand corner. It's connected to this iMac. So all you have to do is, if you have Notes open, click on Notes, and then you go up to File, and then you go import from iPad right here, and you click take a photo. You can also scan documents. I just, you know, or you can add a sketch. I mean, you can scan documents right into this stuff and it'll actually scan it so that it takes away, like, you know, just looks like a white scan document. I usually just take a photo of something. I'll show you what I do here, and it comes into here. So I click take a photo, and then it's going to turn on my iPad right away, which I'll show you. So I'm going to hit click take a photo. All right, as soon as you do that, look at that. It turns on my iPad. I didn't turn that on myself. It just turns on. So I basically pick it up, and then, you know, what you want to do is look for the document or whatever you want to take a picture of. It can be anything. I'm going to take a picture of this note here, or this document. Go ahead and click on it, and it's going to go right back to Notes. And there you go. You can see I just took a photo with my iPad, and it comes right into your Notes. Now, obviously, they're not connected. They're just connected wirelessly or through my same account. And then it creates this note here. So now I have the 2 notes, and I actually inserted it below this 218 note. But, and you can, you know, once you get in here, you can do things like resize it and do everything else with it. But for right now, you can mark it up and everything else. But that's just an easy way to get stuff in. So let's just say you're doing coupons or, you know, whatever you want to do. This is a good way. Scan a document, you can create it and then send it. Whatever you want to do, just save it, you know, as you need to save it. So I hope that helps people with how to go about doing that. All right, the third way I actually use Notes is, let's say I have some information that I don't want to get into someone else's hands. Let's say your child's social security number or something that you just do not want to get out there. You can basically create a note. So let's go up here, we'll create a new note, just like that. And let's just say you're going to go ahead and type in, this is, you don't want people to get this info, right? Whatever you want to put in here, you can put in, you know, whatever numbers you want, whatever. So there you go. So what you do with this is, now this is a note that if you kind of go back, you can actually, someone logged into your computer, they can go right to this note and see all the sensitive information. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you're on the note that you want to lock. You want to go up to File up here, then go down to Lock Notes, see it right there? What you want to do is, it brings up this screen. Let's just say, let's go 5555 tab 5555, and then let's just do 5555. Set password. All right, so now what you can do is it's unlocked because we're in it. So you can go up here, and now you can close all locked notes. You go ahead and close it. So now it's going to be locked. So basically, if you can click on my other notes, but if you go back to this one, you have to lock it. Once you lock it, you have to go down here, enter password, 1, 2, 3, 4, enter, and there it is. We're basically back into the notes. So you see how this works now. It's open. It's going to stay open. Make sure you lock it right here. Close all locks, and it'll lock it. So just FYI, you can also remove the lock if you want, but you need that password. If you lose the password, you're never going to find this note again. So be very, very careful. All right, and the last tip, I guess, it's not really something that I use all the time, but it's just something that just to help people using notes. So if you have a bunch of different notes here, and let's say you close this down or whatever you want to do, and you'll reopen it. Let's say you have 20 or 30, 40 different notes. The ones you have, let's say you have password or something in here, there's something that you use all the time to get into stuff. What you want to do is if you click on it over here, you can go ahead and just right click on it, and you can pin note. So click pin note there. What it does is it moves it to the top. And it actually says this has been pinned. So if you have a ton of different notes, you can pin different notes. And then, if you close down and then you reopen it later, notes, it's going to always be at the top of the list. So this is way if you have very important notes. I mean, it could be anything, like just things that you always are going over. Let's just information that even if you have it locked or whatever, but you just want to always be able to get to it and not have to search all the notes that you've created. Over time, you might have 10,000 notes. Just pin it. It's always going to be at the top. You can always search for it up here in the upper right-hand corner also, but pinning it's really easy. Just a little tip there, and that's the fourth thing. All right, so what did you think? Again, a lot of these things you may know about already, and some of them you may not, and that's what I'm here for, is just to kind of let people know what's out there. When I watch videos, sometimes I know 3 of the 4 different techniques, and then one I'm like, hey, that's kind of cool. So I'm just trying to make some content. Definitely put some comments down here. Hopefully hit the like button if you can and subscribe. Just trying to make content that, is useful to people, but I'm also going to be expanding. I mean, I'm going to be going into other topics, going to be trying to do different locations. I'm going to do a lot of Apple still, no matter what. I mean, that's always going to be my meat and potatoes, but I'm going to do some drives that can maybe work, more on PC also and Mac at the same time, so it's kind of more interchangeable. Let me know what you think. I'm going to keep changing it up, but definitely want to do Apple. I'm going to stay with Apple. And I actually have a MacBook coming in. I'm going to do some reviews on that coming up soon, so stay tuned for that, and we'll see where we go. Peace.